Today on the channel, we're going to unbox this Donner Hush X Pro. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to unbox this new guitar I got today in the mail. It's from Donner. It's the Hush X Pro. I'm pretty excited to check this thing out because I like the Hush X series, the Hush series from Donner. They're very cool travel guitars. So let's get this thing on the table. We're going to unbox it and I'll change the camera angles around so we can get a better view of it, and then we'll do a full audio demo at the end of this video and test it out, okay? So without further ado, let's get to unboxing. Okay, so first things first, let me figure out how to get into this thing. That's always the trickiest part for me on these unboxings. So looks like we've got some openings on this side here where the tape is. You know, I've been seeing reports lately that a lot of people don't like seeing unboxings on YouTube anymore, that it's sort of become like a thing of the old days, old YouTube. But you know what? I like it. I like unboxings. Do you guys still like to see unboxings? Let me know in the comments. I'll probably still continue to do them just because, you know, it's fun content to make. Plus, I think it's cool if you're looking at getting a new guitar and everything. It's kind of nice to see how everything's packaged from the factory. That way, you know, it's as real as it gets when you see an unboxing unfold on YouTube. Just like right now, I'm struggling to get this. Lord have mercy. I missed something over here. For some reason, I thought that was going to open up a little differently than it did. Okay. All of that struggle to get this thing out. All right, so this is a Donner Hush guitar. I've featured Donner Hush instruments on the channel before, but Donner sent me another Hush X Pro model, so I thought we'd take a look at that today, okay? So, without any more delays, let's take this thing out of the bag. These things are designed to be compact travel guitars that sound and play excellent. And I can honestly say that the Donner makes, they really make some great stuff. I am thoroughly impressed with the Donner products that I've received in the past. All right, my chair is squeaking. Okay, so here is the guitar with all of the papers and styrofoam on it. Oh, that's neat. It's got a little switch, some kind of a little selector switch there. Don't know what that's for. We'll have to test that out, obviously. Okay. One reason I think I'm struggling is I'm doing this backwards, kind of upside down so I can film it. Cameras are on the other side. All right, so look at this. Looks like we got a neck pickup here and a bridge pickup. Okay, so on closer inspection, we've got our tuners here in the back. Here's our headstock. Well, not headstock, but the end of the neck. Just doing a quick inspection just to see if everything looks like it's okay and made shipment all right. We'll go into further details on the specs of this guitar here in just a moment. So if you're wondering why this guitar is shaped so unusual, because there are sides to it that you put on, so it kind of looks like an actual guitar, which those parts are inside of this compartment. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking out the accessories that come with the guitar. I'm going to lay these out. Here's our manuals and stuff like that. Okay. Polishing cloth. Here's a USB cable. Here's a regular instrument cable. This is the Hush X Pro. Looks like in multiple languages, so no matter what country you come from, there's probably an option in here for you. But this looks like kind of a quick start guide on what the features do. Yeah, it's a quick start guide. So we'll go over this in just a moment. Inside of this package, looks like we've got some earbuds. I love it when they send earbuds. And then this is a full-on spec manual. Full details on the guitar. All right. And let's see what else. Here's a strap. And here's the strap for the gig bag, so you don't have to carry it. You can put it over your shoulder. So there's a strap for that. Okay, and then the sides. The sides of the guitar are these pieces right here. The top and bottom of the guitar. Okay. So let me take this out here. First thing I'm going to do is see if I can install these things quickly without looking foolish. So on the top of the guitar there is this circle right here. And that's what this piece goes on. This thing kind of pushes in and out, pulls in and out like that, okay? And then this part of the piece of metal goes inside here. So when you put it in here and you pull this thing out like that, it'll snap into place. At least it should. Usually I'm pretty lucky about getting these things in quickly. All right, so we got it in place. Okay, so there's what that looks like there. And then the bottom horn, I guess you'd call it a horn, sort of. We're going to put it right here in the other side. There's another hole. So you pull this out and it pops in like that, okay? So the guitar will rest on your leg easily for playability. Cool, so I'm going to take a look at the specs and we're going to go over the features and specs on this guitar, and then we'll plug it in and do a full demo on it, okay? Okay, before we get started, I want to point out just a couple quick things. I did have to adjust the action on this guitar, which is normal when you get a new guitar in the mail. Sometimes you got to adjust it to set it up just properly, but it took about 3 or 4 minutes. There's a truss rod wheel right here at the heel of the neck. The guitar comes with this little tool that you would place inside one of the holes on the truss rod wheel, and then you would turn it, to the left or right, depending on if you want to loosen or tighten it. I turned it to the right significantly to get the action down real nice and low, and it plays super smooth. It was playable when I got it, but I like the action to be really low, and I got it perfect. So I did that. I wanted to point that out. Also, this guitar can be played with effects that are included and amp models that are included. It can also be played in bypass mode. Bypass mode just plays like a regular guitar. So if the effects and things aren't your jam, if that's not really what you're into, this guitar can be played just normal with this single coil and humbucker style pickup just fine. I'm going to run a combo amp in this room with a microphone in front of it, just to show you exactly the kind of tones you're going to get from a combo amp. Now, obviously, you can run headphones to it. There's a headphone input on the bottom of this guitar right here. I'll get some close-up footage of this guitar so you can see it in more detail. The top of the guitar has got a screen that will let you toggle through different settings. If you want to change, for instance, you want to change effects like flanger or phase, that sort of thing, there is a menu for that. There's a menu for your overdrive. There's several overdrive options in here. There's several different amps and cabinet simulations inside the guitar. There's delay. There's a section just exclusively for delay. There's one for reverb, and then there's bypass. The guitar will work as a Bluetooth. It's a Bluetooth capable device, so you can sync Bluetooth to it. So if you want to play the jam tracks, that'll work. And also has a built-in tuner. So yeah, it's really set up nice. This is a pickup selector switch right here, and then the volume and the tone are one knob. The tone is the inner knob. You twist the inner knob to adjust tone. The outer knob is the volume, and this is the power button. So when you push this button on, it turns the guitar on. It does not need to be on in order to work. You can play it like a regular guitar, so you can bypass the effects if you don't want to do that. This also has presets, so this button here not only acts as the power on button. If you want to scroll through that factory presets, there's several preset modes, and you can adjust the tones within those modes if you want to tweak the effects or the amp or the level of gain, what have you. Okay, so I'll do my best to show you that on camera on the menu, and then I'll do a playthrough demo, and I'll just play around with some of the tones, okay? So let's take a look at the guitar a close-up view of the guitar so we can see what the menu looks like and how to toggle through those screens, okay? Cool, let's do it. Okay, as I was just mentioning, the power button is this button here, the pickup selector switch, the volume and tone. There's the truss rod adjustment wheel right there. Okay, so when we turn the guitar on, we push the button here, hold it, and then this screen lights up right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece off the guitar so we can see the screen better for filming. You can see it okay when you're playing the guitar, but for filming it will make it so much easier if I do it like this. Okay, so here is the screen, and we're in bypass mode right now. So on this wheel right here, it shows that there's bypass. There's reverb, there's delay, amp, cab, and then you've got drive and effects here, okay? So if we take a closer look at what this looks like when you go with the wheel, the toggle wheel here, for instance, let's put it on amp and cab. You can see that there are menus within inside the screen that will bring you through different amplifier settings and EQ settings. It's pretty elaborate, really. So now, as I roll through this wheel, A1 is patch 1, okay? And you can see that there's drive, effects, tone, amp, delay, and reverb in each preset that you go through. So you can go in and edit each preset if you don't like the way that it sounds. If you go into the next patch, there's B1, then there's C1, then there's D1, E1, F1, then it goes back to A. So you've got A through F as far as presets are concerned. This is your tap tuner. So if you want to tune the guitar, you can just hold it and it'll tune. Then you let go of it, it goes back to the guitar itself, to the patches. If you tap it, check that out. There's your beats per minute. So I just tapped it and it's at 240. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I just did some tap tuning or tap tempos. That's really nice that you can do a tap tempo with this. Cool. All right, so now let's scroll this wheel down here. This is your tone. So for tone, on this menu here, I don't know if you can see this very well, but it says ST and TL. Let me see if I can pull this. There's the little plastic thing is on the screen. Maybe it'll show it better. All right, so that it says TL or ST, TL, and I'm assuming what that means is Strat, Tele, LP for Les Paul, JM, Jumbo. These would be acoustic settings, I guess. OM, and then D. Okay, so there's different tone settings for in this menu. And then when you tap on this button, it allows you to go left to right to adjust each setting that you're on. We go to effects. All right, so when we're in the effects menu, we've got jet, tremolo. One says CH, not sure what that stands for. Chorus, okay, duh. Wah, phaser, and it's set to off. When we go to drive, there's a TS8, a TS9, ODY, blues, force, fuzz, distortion. So those are your settings. Say you chose distortion, right? You go into distortion, and then it's going to allow you to adjust your gain, your tone, and your volume. And all this is controlled with this value button. You push it to select, and then you scroll the wheel to the right or left to change the value, okay? So then we're going to go back to this menu here. And there's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not bad. We're going to turn the drive off. Then amp cab. So here we've got twin. We've got dark, Tweedy, AC 30, star, probably a black star, Dr. C, maybe a jazz chorus, AC 30, TB, SV, UK 50. I've tried the UK 50, it's awesome. UK 800, 900, so JCM 800, 900, obviously. A Soldano lead, MLD, not sure what that is. Orange, there's an OR 100, a probably Mesa Boogie. There's an EVH 51, there's a VH S, AC Pre, and then there's cab. Okay, that's cool. There's a lot to explore. A lot more than I can probably do in this video. So that's your delay in your cab. If you go down to the cab modes, let's see what the cab says. Let me select that. So on the cab, there's dark, twin, UK lead, Vox. So there's different cabinets for it, okay? So we'll choose the UK lead. We'll go back up to delay. All right, so on the delay, we've got tape delay, we've got analog delay, lo-fi, reverb, and digital. Then on the reverb settings, we're on reverb. We've got room, hall, plate, spring, and then end star. And then there's the bypass mode again. So hopefully the camera picked all that up. But these are the internal settings, and each one of these settings can be adjusted within the preset, or you can create your own. So let me go through a few of these presets. I'm going to mic one of my combo amps up just to give you an example. We'll go through the presets, and then I'll do some editing, and check it out. Cool. All right, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but I've got a 1974 Fender Champ mic'd up with a Shure 57 microphone. It's going straight into my camera. So this is unaltered, unedited video. So I've got this thing mic'd up, and we're ready to go. This guitar is not currently turned on. So I'm going to give you an example of the single coil and the humbucker separately, so you can hear what that sounds like through the amp, just dry. And then we'll go through the presets, and then I will stumble my way through some of the menus and show you what some of the effects sound like. Okay, so let's check it out. So I've got it set in single coil mode. It's really nice and clean. By the way, I didn't mention this neck feels fantastic. I'm not sure what this thing is made out of. I mean, it's some kind of composite carbon fiber. It feels like. I mean, it's quite light, but there is no fret sprout. This neck feels excellent. Okay, turn the tone all the way down. Turn it back up. Cool. So now we're going to go into humbucker mode. I've got my treble on the amp set all the way down. So it sounds a little muddy, but if I bring the treble up on the amp, brightens it up. Middle position. Headless guitars feel unusual to me because I always feel like I'm going to just slide off the end. You know, it takes some getting used to, but it's cool. They are significantly lighter. I'm used to, you know, some neck dive when you've got tuners and a headstock on a guitar, and you don't get that with a headless guitar. They're just super light, and this guitar is well balanced though. I mean, it doesn't want to fall or do anything weird. There's no weight falling down into your hands. Okay, cool. I'm going to turn the guitar on. So if I push this button in, you hear it pop just a little bit, which is not a big deal. And then I'm going to, we're going to go through these settings, all right? So we're in patch A, okay? So patch A. I'm going to dial the treble back just a little bit. I've found with modeling instruments and anytime you use a modeler through an amp, you got to dial the treble back a bit because things seem to be a little bright. I'm just guessing, all right, with this guitar. All right, so there's our first patch. I'm going to go to the B. C. We're on D right now. That's fun. Okay, so E. I have no idea what's about to hit me. These are the first time I've gone through these presets. So we're experiencing this together. A little reverb on there. I was in the middle position there. This guitar sounds nice. I like the pickups. Here is F. All right. Now we go back to A. You know what I just noticed is when you tap the button, when you tap this button here, I can't really show it well on camera, but there's actually 3 patches of presets. So when I tap the button, it brings me, it says A1, A2, A3. So I was actually on A2 through F2. So those were segment 2 of the presets. So that was A2 through F2. So let's go A1 through F1. So here's A1. Now you can edit any of these. So if there's something on any of these patches that you don't like, all the effects are on board. So you can go through and edit any of these to your liking. These are just platforms that you can use. Here's B1. C1. Here is D1. The letter D is in dog. That's cool. E1. I gotta say, these are impressive. I like them. Here's F1. They're very usable. Okay, so we're gonna go to A3. All right, so this is the third bank. So there's 3 series of presets, A1, A2, A3, all the way through F. So here's A3. I'm getting lost in it. I like it. Here's B3. C3. Very wet. D3. I love that mid-range. Great for leads. Okay, E3. Sweet. F3. Here's the last of the presets. I gotta say, I'm impressed with this thing. This is really nice. I mean, really, this demo of samples A1, A2, A3, all the way through F1 and F3 gives a complete example of all the effects, preamps, and a lot of the cabinet emulators in this unit. So I don't really see the point in going through all these presets. This is something that you would probably have to really experiment with, and I can't really show it on camera, the menus, how you go through it. It's not cumbersome, it's just hard to film, and this video would be probably 2 hours long of me noodling through presets, but this gives us a good idea of what this sounds like, and I honestly have to say, out of the box, out of the gate, this thing was or is impressive. Donner does not pay me a dime to do this stuff. They send me these guitars for free to review, and I put them on my channel. I do have to say that I was impressed that the guitar was charged. I haven't charged this thing. It's right out of the box. It's playable, so it was charged up and ready to go. I don't know how much charge is left on it. I've yet to try out the Bluetooth functionality, which I'll do at some point down the road, but it went together fine. Everything works as intended. It was packaged well. Donner have been around for a long time. They're a great company to work with, so I highly encourage you to check this out if this is something that you feel would be beneficial to you. And one thing I can say is it's inspiring to have something handy, small, portable, and that sounds good, especially for creating music and creating art. And that's the most important thing that we do, right? So anyway, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.